What do you do about chasing keywords or additional keywords and getting traffic when the CPCs on some of the head-end keywords are so high, and in SEO they're so competitive? Is there another way to bleed the tail out of keywords? I know it's not all of you can make the enterprise level of investments in PPC that some of the other people around the table can make.
I think, working for Yahoo, working in search, for me, yes, it is important to try and incorporate these long tail terms, but what I'd be looking at doing as well is getting the key terms, the big brand terms, the ones you refer to, getting those terms working harder for you. Be more astute in your targeting, target demographically, day part targeting, and these key terms, yes, the CPCs are high.
Have these strategies not all been done to death by this point, though? I mean, they're good stock places to start with optimization, but I know as an agency pitching them, they've heard them all before. And if we didn't say that we were doing them, then we'd be way behind the pack in terms of.
It's not very exciting or sexy either.
No.
You're saying the same thing. You've got a slide that has. I remember when Warren and I pitched to a gaming client a few years ago, and it was the same slide we used across a variety of similar brands, and it's not because we were being cheap and using the same deck, but it was because there's not a huge amount in.
It was a fundamental core part of the strategy. What were you going to say?
You kind of scratch your head and think, what else can I add to this? But it was there's very little to add to a specifically a paid search strategy.
Absolutely.
So it is a very difficult thing.
It is a difficult thing, but when I look at the gaming business like with us, there's so many people that are not doing it as they should do and not doing it correctly, and maybe at Google you might be able to tell me something different, but there's still an education piece to do there. And so many of these clients, so many of these gaming clients, gambling clients are coming in direct and not coming in through an agency, and there's still an opportunity there. In terms of it not being very exciting, Hannah, there are new ad formats, and we've launched Rich Ads in Search in Yahoo, which has worked fantastically well for a couple of gaming clients. Driven conversions increased by 83% for one in particular, and that's also helped them increase the value of their customers, because people searching on sports betting terms, we've been showing them a rich ad for poker, and it's helped them move certain clients from being a sports betting client for a gambling client to get involved in poker or to get involved in casino, and it's worked quite well for us, in particularly in the gambling sector. So there are new ad formats out there. They do deliver conversions, and it's worth digging a bit deeper. And
so your suggestion is really moving out to try to broaden the strategy away from banging on a single keyword or a group of them, and other ad formats and network options.
And Hannah's raised a great point in terms of the traditional search message. It's not very exciting anymore. However, there is value attached to it. But if you dig a bit deeper, have a look around. There are new ad formats in the search space that will work very well for gaming clients.
And I think that's where we found success as well across. programs like Yahoo and Google AdWords and even Google's Display Network.
The content network opened up at the end of last year for gaming ads, didn't it?
It did. I'd like to jump back to the search thing for a sec. First of all, I find search sexy. I'm just going to throw it out there. I find it's not boring. It's the sexiest thing in the world.
But from a gaming point of view?
Absolutely, even more so. I think there's raised some really good points in terms of getting the basics right. So making sure you've got a very good strategy, good ad copy, good offer, landing page optimization. Like, it's basic stuff. This isn't rocket science. Most people don't do it. Or designers will bang out 5 pages. There you go, and they'll sit with that for a year. So I think really just kind of looking at the conversion process, looking at, okay, they've gone to the landing page, does the landing page match the ad copy? Basic stuff, right?
Absolutely.
They've then gone through to the registration form. Are you taking, like I think Jackpot Joy did this fantastically, where when you're on the registration form, they have their sign-up offers there on the side. You're really hand-holding the user through the process, really reassuring them that what they've seen is what they're going to get. The second thing I'd say, though, for gaming products, there is a concentrated pool of keywords, probably maybe 5,000-10,000 keywords.
I thought you were just going to say 5 keywords.
No. For sports betting, though, I'd actually disagree. For sports betting, there's actually a huge long tail.
Yeah, definitely.
And most operators don't take advantage of it. The difference is that it's, your traditional Amazon, long tail model, Amazon, there's a book or a DVD, it's obscure. sits there for years and you accrue some clicks. But when you look at sportsbook, it's a massive long tail, but it's got a very short time horizon. So it's the 12 hours before the match, or the week before Cheltenham, so it's really kind of concentrated around a very, very short time period. So the operators who do target that long tail, and it's an incredible amount of work because you're constantly churning keywords, works extremely well.
I think that's the problem. The opportunity, you're right, is there, but because of the turnaround time, no one really has the capacity. And if you look at another sector that had a similar issue, so retail, you've got product feed tools out there, and I know Google have their own tool set that accommodate that. So if there was a tool set out there that could allow the brand to deliver thousands, tens of thousands of keywords, but confined in this short space of time, so it was almost a real-time environment, then it becomes a very easy
well,
exercise.
you can, because every bookmaker's got an XML feed for their website that they give to odds comparison websites. So you can actually take that XML feed, plug it into a database, APIs to Yahoo, Google, whatever, and just automatically build out these campaigns. So it is doable, and not a lot of people are doing it. The ones who are doing it are doing particularly well at it. But I would emphasize the basics, and it's not, it is, I find it sexy, I think it's great. But landing page optimization, it's basic stuff. And kind of not just, I think a lot of operators focus maybe on the main website, the registration form, their homepage, these kind of things, but acquisition channels.
But it's not a product listing page with 42 products listed in price order with lots of different navigational options on it. It's generally just a home page with a picture of a green felt blackjack table with a big download button. I mean, how much more juice is there, do you think, for casino operators to get out of landing page optimization?
I think there's loads. I really do. I think the operators who do it, they all see a big uplift. And the simple stat is you double your conversion rate, you have your CPA. So that's a very, that's quite a broad metric, but it really, every percentage point.
Money with Google.
Or with everybody. But I think every percentage point you can add onto your conversion rate straight to the bottom line. So why wouldn't you have a team dedicated to just doing this across all your acquisition channels?
I think I agree with you, Fintan, actually, on that, because one of the things I do as an affiliate as well is I can test the brands which I'll work with before I go with them, and on average I probably sign up with a casino a day or every other day, and deposit say £20, and it's actually shocking. Even the bigger brands, the kind of landing pages they have, even being in the industry, you get confused looking at it. It takes you on 5 or 6 different steps, and there's been some where I've registered and I've just thought, no, I'm not going to continue with this because it's been so poor. So even though it's fundamental, a lot of people are missing out on it. The basic steps of casino: registration, depositing, playing, withdrawing. A lot of them, it's the most fundamental thing in it. But a lot of them are failing just at the first bit, which is when you get people on board. Obviously when we go into the landing pages, I'm not going to name a name, but one of them barely one of them barely had a registration button, and I had to look around for it. And I'm spending £20 on this click, which obviously I don't go through the paid search, I'll go through the affiliate links to track them. But if I'm going through, if I'm paying £20 for this click and I can barely find the registration button, and I've been online for 8 years or so, then what's a normal? What would my dad do?
Yeah, and that is a really good test. Like, how would my dad handle this?
Yeah.
And my dad would. Yeah. He'd just get me to do it.
And it's
back to relationship with your parents.
But actually, this is a really good point as well in terms of if you I think saying, okay, I've spent 20 quid on a click, what do I do then? So obviously the basics is landing page optimization.
Yeah.
And then Hannah mentioned at the beginning, remarketing. So it's a case of, okay, so for the people who, assuming you've got a lovely landing page and the user for whatever reason didn't convert, collecting that data and then using remarketing, real-time bidding, and create strategies around, okay, this person, it's a Saturday night, they've clicked the ad, we know they're interested in roulette or online roulette. What is it can we do over the next 4 or 5 hours to try and convert this user? And I think that the power of tying in a really smart remarketing, real-time bidding strategy on top of your paid search strategy, particularly for very expensive, not just expensive keywords, but for everything. But I think for the expensive keywords, it really makes it effective. I think to me, that's just a no-brainer.
think that's where mobile probably comes into its own, with the ability to be texting somebody real time. Would you like to place this bet, and the odds are such and such. Geo-targeting as well for mobile. I don't know what you guys as an agency are doing around mobile search, and whether more and more of your clients are requesting.
Well, Hannah, you've got lots of clients that
I mean,
work
mobile's definitely, everyone pretty much mentioned it. It's something that they're all excited about. I think mobile, obviously, there's been something on the cards for quite some years, and I think pretty much everyone who's written a prediction over the last 3 to 4 years has said, and the next year's for mobile.
It has been the
every year since 2003, I think, has been the year.
So finally it happened, and it happened literally at the very end of last year, and definitely I think every sector had some kind of success with mobile. Retail, I think, came out as the best, delivering an incredible amount of volume and revenue from mobile and tablet. But gaming, again, has been a big success story around those two. And I think it's important that when people think about developing these strategies, and we do this across all of our client bases, to answer your question, you think about mobile and tablet as two very different strategies, because it's two very different types of users, and obviously screen sizes make a difference in how they interact with the device as well.
I think that's an interesting point, is that a lot of mobile stats don't differentiate between tablet and phone, because fundamentally the browser shows up as a mobile user agent on both devices equally. And I used to say this to people every time where they say, well, what about mobile? Is this year going to be the year for mobile? And I would always say to the people, it's not the site that's mobile, it's the user's mobile, and that dictates the level of engagement. And I think the tablet has fundamentally changed mobile engagement, but I would be loath to lump tablets into the mobile count just because
it's so far from mobile, because I mean, you've got your tablet over there, but my tablet's at home, and it basically serves a function as a
mobile,
laptop.
but it's not a mobile.
It's basically made my laptop redundant.
It's interesting that you say that. A lot of statistics say that people will begin to use their laptops and desktop computers for work, and that tablets will become the personal computer of the future. A lot of the statistics that are seen, just the way what people do on tablets is more social in general, and what people do on PCs now is more work related.
You know what? If this had Excel, I'd never pick up a laptop again. Excel's the ocean.
But I guess I mean 10% of PPC clicks, or I think it's over 10% now, are mobile or coming from mobile devices.
I mean, with retail, you're looking at least 30 to 40%. With gaming, we're seeing around about, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, around about 20 to 25. So one of our clients in particular, they're seeing some massive success to the point that their mobile and tablet strategies are coming in at half of their overall cost per sale or cost per lead in comparison to search. And I think, your points on basics, the optimization of landing pages, they're all right. And the client that we're working with in this space is doing an excellent job. But it's just so damn competitive. And this is why these kind of extension of search strategies such as mobile or the ad extensions or retargeting makes it a lot more easier to swallow when it comes to looking at the overall ROI. So the beauty about paid search, which has now become this kind of paid media thing, is we don't just think about pay-per-click in Google, Yahoo and Bing. We consider mobile and tablet, we consider retargeting, we consider all these different elements. So when you're looking at multi-channel, you think, well, it costs it and it's okay. But these other extra elements are helping, and the point that you made about kind of geo-targeting, it's brilliant. A, you can do it properly for the first time, and B, when you've got something like, like a sector like this, you can do so many different things with it, and it's, you can retarget within the mobile if need be as well. So there's some really quite great opportunities.
Still quite limited with respect to the actual technology associated with geotagging.
Yes and no. It depends on what program.
O2 are doing it, but I don't think there are many other.
Well, for paid, on Google, for example,
Yeah.
you can target by postcode. So you can bid more for people at an event based on a location. You can also tie in things like, so for example, one strategy would be, say you've got an online and an offline presence, so you've got betting shops or whatever. So you can show an ad that has a click to call to your telephone betting line, and also has a click through to the mobile website, click through to download an app, and a click through to showing you a Google map with the nearest shop using the GPS. So you're kind of what's quite interesting with that is you're taking all the features of the phone and using it to their fullest effect. Plus, it's what's most convenient for the user. So, what way would you like to interact with us?
Yeah.
Here are all our options.
But just from my point of view, since the Greenlight guys more so, are you seeing operators' team structures develop around this? So, let's say Finn and myself on the conversation just earlier around biddable media teams and performance-based teams that look after mobile DSPs, RTB type activity and paid search, or are you still sat in a meeting room with a mobile marketing manager, an offline marketing manager, a paid search marketing manager, and a display marketing manager, who all sit separately in slightly different teams?
So the people who we engage with, the client, they're very still much
This is
a separate thing, and it's as per usual, everyone's still fighting over the small pot of budget that sits in the middle of them. But from our point of view, we're trying to bring them more close together and integrate them, because that's what we've done. Certainly within our department, we've had to create more of a multi-channel expertise base, so people aren't just in the office to optimize Google AdWords or Yahoo, for example. They're looking at Facebook, they're looking at mobile, they're looking at tablet. But we are trying to encourage, because there's no point in me coming from a multi-channel point of view if you're still sitting in your silos. And I think this is where tracking and attribution plays a big part, because we can look at the data together and we make decisions as from a kind of a hybrid scenario, as opposed to, well, my channel's doing well, so I want to take, I'm not going to be part of this conversation while everyone else gets a kick in. So yeah, it's trying to help bring the clients and the individuals within the client base together as well.